All right. Sam Harris, he has a blog, and I was seeing what Atheism is Unstoppable was up to. There's plenty of stuff that I don't agree with him on, but there's stuff I do agree with him on. Uh, that it was really that every so often he just gets into some things, and once again, this was one of these things about Hillary Clinton, and it was funny because of how he cites what Sam Harris is good at. And it's, of course, the idea of compared to what. He didn't compare it to what. Compared to, say, somebody who actually can read Cyrillic. That's the language, that's the Greek writing system that you see in Russia and Ukraine and such like. Or people who, like me, are really into blogs and channels on YouTube from Russia, Ukraine. I'm very into Orthodoxy, and the Orthodox typically exist in the Cyrillic reading world. And Russia is scared shitless. They've been scared shitless by us. And people like Atheism is Unstoppable don't realize a few things because you have to have somewhat specialized knowledge about this. When the South Ossetia thing happened, if you look up Ossetia in the WikiLeaks, you'll find some stuff about their president Saakashvili. Well, now we know because of a man named John Loftus, who is a former Nazi hunter, that Saakashvili is actually a Muslim Nazi. If I remember correctly, he's descended from the Muslim Nazi. Like his father worked for the SS, and we recruited him. Like it, and yeah, we've had a general Saakashvili. But if I remember correctly, that president Saakashvili of Georgia, that he actually was an asset. And you can tell from the WikiLeaks he was obviously one of our assets. The way we were gassing him up, talking about him so positively. Well, he fucked with Russia. They were. We now know. Like we know now. Like this has been clearly mapped out and understood. The journalists have gone back and forth on it. No. We were kind of fucking with Russia to see what they could do. Like how quickly could they respond? And it turned out Russia was down. That we found out they were down. Now this is the problem. Bush did this to Putin as well. It's just not coming to me precisely what it was. But there was a famous quote: "Don't hang noodles from my ears." This was not translated correctly. It was translated as like don't kid me. But Putin was sitting across from Bush, and this might have been the South Ossetia thing. But there was definitely, it was something that we said we were going to be like cool with Russia about, and then we screwed them and screwed one of their allies or something, and or fucked with their territory. And he straight up, he was like, "Don't hang noodles from my ears," and it's don't humiliate me. You know what? It's like it was like a, what the fuck. Well, this happened with Obama. Putin gave Obama every opportunity. And this is why you see by it's the second administration, you start to see the kind of the cleanup of journalists. You see the Maidan. The Russia Today guy is no longer friends with Vladimir Putin. It is because at that point, Putin was like, all you guys who are down with America and what America's like about, all this progressive shit, all this sort of maybe socialism can be done correctly, or that he started to pick up. He's like, you motherfuckers are all on, you guys aren't, Russia doesn't matter to you. This is not about Russia for you. This is about some larger worldview. And the person who made this very clear that this is how Putin thinks, is Alexander Dugin and his what was it? Fourth way, the fourth political theory. Fourth political theory, and you could find him now at Katahan think tank. And if you don't know what about Alexander Dugin, you know nothing about Vladimir Putin. You actually don't. You can't say shit about the guy. It just doesn't matter what the fuck you say. And about Russia, about anything. If you haven't checked this guy's speeches out, if you haven't checked out his career, you don't know shit. So Sam Harris obviously is not terribly well informed about Russia, because at one point he gets into this. Well, first he starts with to consider only one point of comparison. We now witness Donald Trump bragging about his sexual predations in terms even Satan himself could spin to his advantage. So when it comes to propaganda and counterintelligence, so a member of the Bush family found a really embarrassing recording of him. The Bush family, boy, what have they been up to? Well, who knows? They weren't at the RNC. The Bush family can't show its family around the Republican Party anymore. So Donald Trump himself has caused the Bush family to now no longer be able to appear in public as Republicans or representing the Republican Party in any way, shape, or form. What an asshole. As you see, people like atheism is unstoppable, like the Bush family, I guess. Or Sam Harris likes the Bush family. I don't know. Hey, but however you get, the ends justify the fucking means, I suppose. Every day more women come forward confirming the truth of these confessions. That's not accurate. In fact, actually, this has every single mark of extremely poorly done Karl Rove style politics. This is like this is almost as if you kind of have to wonder if Karl Rove did this, being that so many Republicans have gone out of their way to criticize Trump. So now such disclosures should have ended Trump's presidential campaign, but as luck would have it, Hillary Clinton is married to a man. Because you see, it's all about Bill Clinton. It's not about Bill Clinton and what is now known about the strange amount of cocaine that was the cocaine hub of Arkansas, that it appears the Democratic Party did have an arrangement with some portion of the CIA, and that cocaine was delivered to Arkansas, and Arkansas was a Midwestern hub for delivering cocaine, and it went back a long ways, because if you are familiar with black music, if you're familiar with music of mountain people, and like Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and therefore like a lot of rockabilly, you'll know that cocaine has been sung about for generations, and mostly in the South, almost entirely in the South, and that's a part of it. You see, Arkansas was one of these places that eventually became a modern hub for distributing cocaine. LA was another, and that police officer who came forward in the 90s about it and was discredited, well, he wasn't discredited. In the long run, he was proven to be absolutely, positively fucking correct. And this has changed the entire relationship the CIA has had with people who stay aware of this kind of stuff. And Trump is now being buttressed by that movement of those of us who've paid attention to what has been declassified and proven about dirty, 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 dirty stuff governments do. So this is another dirty stuff governments do. They have a bunch of people come out and just suddenly say, he did this, he did that, he did this, when there's not really any form of evidence for it. Only one is made humiliating people. And it's because he humiliates women. He never humiliates men. No, it's that Sam Harris he's probably a pussy beggar, and in some key part of his heart, and this is a pussy beggar line where he's trying to act like Donald Trump is so terrible to women. It's like, well, actually, he's not. Actually, he's willing to give women an opportunity to become very, very wealthy and famous, only because they have trained in the classic arts and are beautiful. You know, like my grandmother taught people like debutantes, and it's just there aren't people like this anymore. That's a cultural thing, like beauty pageants and stuff. Those are actresses. Those are young women who've gone into acting and singing and other forms of performance. And this is one of the many contests that exist for women like that. And I just like when people don't know anything about Western culture, so they could criticize all this stuff, not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. Most important, one of these men is running for president today, blah, 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 blah. Trump's attitude toward women should be disqualifying. No, it shouldn't. He hires plenty of women most of the women he had with him on The Apprentice, who were like the real deal, were like they were incredible. That one blonde lady, like, where's she? Oh, he didn't try to nothing. Yeah. Nobody has anything to say about the women who appeared on The Apprentice who were totally cool with him or worked for him. His fondness for Vladimir Putin, that's total crap. Disregard for our NATO alliances. NATO alliances, like with Turkey, how's that working out for you? You are a stupid bitch. His promise to use federal regulators to harass his critics, compared to what? The IRS going after conservatives? Yeah, dumbass. You're a dumbass. His belief that climate change is a hoax. Actually, the overwhelming amount of evidence says that it is. Says that there isn't something about anthropogenic climate change. Humans aren't doing it. There's nothing we can actually do that would change it. That's actually the interesting part about it. It's turning out that just natural causes and cycles of solar energy are far more determinate. And this is like been long known now. This is actually well known. And that it's well known that the whole climate change thing was created by a handful of people. One of which was Maurice Strong, and Maurice Strong was a part of Blood for Oil. But you see, why would you want to know what you're talking about? Why, Sam Harris, would you want to know what the fuck you're talking about? You're a neuroscientist. You're an atheist, so you're better than everybody else in some fundamental way. Let's see. Hatred for both Clintons is now so blinding to render Trump's far more dangerous flaws imperceptible. So Hillary Clinton has actually been for every single military action I can remember throughout my lifetime. I worked on the original Clinton campaign as a teenager. So if somebody wants to try to talk about possibly how old I am and what I remember, you are daft. They've always been down. They have always been down for the use of troops. Let's see. He's so flawed. He's shown all these flaws. Campaign ceased to be a depressing farce, became terrifying, a national disgrace. Because all these Trump people would go to places and riot, right? And they're associated with with Open Society, and they take money from Open Society, and then various networks put key people from the Trump movement on their staff to host shows. That's happening someplace. D. Ray McKesson. Stupid bitches. That's sound of our democracy unraveling. Okay. It's the sound of democracy unraveling. This is actually where Sam Harris kind of exposes this isn't a democracy. It's a democratic republic. This is exactly why Trump can say, yes, I'm going to make sure this and that authority looks into what you're doing, because it looks as if this is illegal. I don't get. So is the law not supposed to apply to progressives, atheists, and Democrats? Is it not supposed to apply to Hillary Clinton? Who's the law not supposed to apply to? Is it because Bush got away with something that now nobody's supposed to get punished for shit? So again, atheists, progressives, and other motherfuckers like that always have this in their heart of hearts. The ends justify the means. The whole ideology comes out of that. They have no idea. They do not want to research Adam Weishaupt. Vulnerable our political system is to charlatanism, conspiracy theories, populist unreason. I'm presuming that probably is actually a word. It's just that it sounds very strange when you say it. On both the right and the left, the role that the media has played, rendering us all moths to the Trumpian flame. Once again, where are you getting? Because they're constantly bragging about Trump. They're gassing him up. Really, I'm hearing nothing but good things about Donald Trump in the mass media. Right, Sam. What drugs do they give you? What drugs do they give public intellectuals? I swear, this is just so French cocksucker pacifist post World War I. Hillary Clinton will almost certainly be the next president of the United States. She'll win it by a hair if she does. 4 years of exquisite boredom. She'll go to war immediately. It'll be war overnight. It'll start either with Syria or Ukraine or hacking Russians. And you better really hope that that 9-nation group that Poland and Hungary are a part of oppose it. You better fucking pray. You better really pray that whatever Turkey and Russia have come up with, that they have so much goddamn intel on America, and Erdogan has cleaned up so many of the motherfuckers. Because remember, he was down with us. Erdogan was our boy, and we tried to kill him. He turned around. He went to Russia. Turkish Stream is happening. Motherfuckers, you lost. You fucking lost. Exile. Trump himself should be forced into exile the way O.J. Simpson was. That's of course not going to happen. Any moron would know that's obviously not going to happen. He's one of the most popular people in American politics in the last 150 years. Jesus, I just love it. How would Trump appear if he were a malicious bully? The answer exactly as he does now, but he's not a malicious bully. That's the thing, is he's actually a frank, normal American. There's a bunch of people who are not real Americans. They have no British or German background. So they've never been exposed to people who say things that, yeah, it's mean, and you're better off for being told that. Well, Trump does that. That's what he's tapping into. He's tapping into that quality of Archie Bunker in Americana. It is the way we are. That's how it's supposed to be. That now and then you could be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And somebody has to understand, no, I'm probably fucked up. That this person's functional. It's probably me. It's that our society has embraced hedonism, narcissism, and degeneracy. So now people don't have to actually look at themselves through the classical virtues, through that lens, and determine whether they are actually a decent person, whether they are well, no, that's actually not how it works. Whether they are in harmony with the world. And people who don't get that, it's like, well, sorry, you didn't have a super dope master descended from Bodhidharma who could have taught you that kind of shit. I feel sorry for you. You should get a mentor who can teach you Iron Palm, and then you'll understand the idea of harmonizing oneself with the world. You'll have some kind of cultural anchor of some sort, rather than twerking bitches and Marxist bullshit. This is just one of these things, the harm that Trump could do to the the harm that Trump could do to the White House. There are members of the Muslim Brotherhood. I mean, real members of the Muslim Brotherhood in the fucking staff. Muslim Brotherhood is a post-World War I fascist organization. It's an Islamic fascist organization created by Hassan al-Banna. It's literally like 3 degrees of separation from people like the guy who created Salafism and fucking uh, the Wahhabists. It's actually how Wahhabism and Salafism spread. Here's compared to what, say, the Gulen Network, where the Gulen Network is more of mystic Sufi Islam that would have come out of the communities of those who were enslaved by Islam, who brought their religious practices into secret organizations. That's actually the whole deal with the Kurds. The Kurds are Sufis. They're of different groups. Naqshbandi is one of them. You could find that actually in the, I think, in the Podesta or the Syria files. You could find Naqshbandi, references to the Naqshbandi, and attempts to encourage Turkey to start spreading their form of modern Islam, and that America was trying to encourage this to happen so as to counter the power of Saudi Arabia's Wahhabist mullahs. That's in there. I found it. This was truly disappointing to find Sam Harris critical in that manner of Donald Trump, where he couldn't really name a solid a policy that he's like. And this is of course the issue with Donald Trump is, what will he do? We have no idea. With Hillary Clinton, we actually know what she would do. She would try to go to war with Putin constantly. It would be constant proxy war until it was hot war, because that's what she's done. Ukraine was her. And the Soros Foundation, they tried to create a Maidania in Moscow and got thrown out of the fucking country. The Muslim Brotherhood gets kicked out of government in Egypt. Sisi is down with Putin. What do you end up finding? They are destroying Salafist writings on Islam. They're destroying Salafism. They're physically destroying it. In Egypt, people are disappearing off the streets because they're ending Salafism physically. They're trying to make it such that people like the Ikhwan, the Muslim Brotherhood, will be like, okay, we got it. Our time is done. Our ideology is done. Our time is done. We will be Egyptians. We'll give up on this pan-Arab goofy ass shit that the Muslim Brotherhood is based on. But Sam Harris just doesn't have that knowledge. He's a neuroscientist, so he knows about the nervous system. He knows, in neurochemistry and things like that, and biology. He doesn't really know about what's going on in Russia. He doesn't probably read Fort Russ blog. He doesn't watch the Caspian reports, histories of Russia, and there's what strategically they have to deal with. He doesn't probably read George Friedman's The Next 100 Years, George Friedman of Strategic Forecasting. Look up Stratfor in the WikiLeaks. Yep, look that one up. You'll find all sorts of fascinating things. Look up HEU, highly enriched uranium. That's another one that Hillary Clinton just let slip out there. All the highly enriched uranium talks going on with Iran and measurements thereof. Yeah. Hillary Clinton is so quiet.